Welcome everyone to our weekly seminar. What I wanted to talk about today is a very powerful concept in Kabbalah, and that is astrology. And while many people speak about astrology, you find it in many different magazines and different spiritual paths. What is the secret behind astrology? And as the Kabbalists reveal, actually astrology existed since the beginning of time. And the first ever known astrologer, and perhaps the greatest astrologer ever to exist, his name was Abraham the Patriarch. And we all know who Abraham is. Many people consider him to be the father of the three major religions. But what Abraham brought to the world is an amazing understanding of how we can use this powerful tool of astrology in our lives. So what does it really mean? The Kabbalists explain that each and every single one of us has a purpose in this world, a unique purpose, something that we need to transform about ourselves. And each one of our souls comes to this world with that purpose. Now, what is this purpose? It's something that needs to be transformed. It's something that needs to be different about ourselves. Usually it's a type of a fear, an insecurity, a neediness, something that is an ungodly trait. Not a godly trait, but an ungodly trait, and something that causes me to be reactive, something that causes me to be selfish. It's that part of us that makes me immediately want to solve a problem because I feel lack inside of me. It's that part of me that I can't take criticism because it touches too close to home. It's the part of me that when I feel like people are mistreating me, I need to lie in order to make myself look better because I'm afraid. We're all afraid of something. We're all afraid basically of not receiving. And that's the main correction of every soul in this world, not receiving what I want, as opposed to trusting the system of the light of the Creator and living by this system. So the Kabbalists call this unique fear, this unique issue, tikkun. Tikkun. Correction. Tikkun means correction. And each one of us has a unique correction. And according to the people that come in our lives, they will show us what is the correction that I need to make. So if someone comes into my life and he starts to bother me, and something about me starts to be awakened, either my anger starts to be awakened, my sadness starts to become awakened, I shut down, I close my heart, I become rowdy, I become defensive, all those things are my tikkun. How do you know what your tikkun is? Go to the last known person in your life that you don't like, and after they did something to you, how did you feel? Whatever you felt is your tikkun. And those people will keep coming back again and again and again in your life until you transform the tikkun. Doesn't matter, you can go from one country to another. You can resolve yourself, you're never going to date a guy like that again. You're never going to be with another person like this again. You're going to have different friends altogether, but if we don't transform that tikkun, doesn't matter if we are right and they are wrong. In fact, the whole purpose of showing us our tikkun is that they will be wrong and we will be right. But the idea is, even if I'm right and they're wrong, do I have the ability to stop 1 second and say, why is this in my movie? It's my tikkun, it's my fear, it's my insecurity, it's my need for something. It's my need for approval, it's my need for love, it's my need for clarity, it's my need to control the future, and I can't control it right now, so I'm out of control, so I do things that it's not like me, that I'm reactive. That's because it's my tikkun coming up right now. So what does tikkun have to do with astrology? We'll share that in a moment. I want you first to take this concept of tikkun, a basic concept, and either recount it to yourself, or if you're sitting next to someone, share this concept with the person sitting next to you. So how does tikkun relate to astrology? First thing we must understand is our soul chose that with which we will come to this world and to transform. Our parents didn't give us our tikkun. I don't have my tikkun because of something I went through when I was 5 years old. The tikkun is something my soul chose before I came to this world. And the fact that I went through something when I was 5 years old is because it awakened my tikkun that was already inside of me. If I have a fear of abandonment, and I used to always think, oh, it's because my parents divorced when I was young. This is not the truth, according to Kabbalah. The fear of abandonment was something that was within me since the beginning of creation. I chose certain parents to be born to because those people were the perfect set of people to awaken my tikkun. It's that simple. So what is astrology? Astrology is 12 unique frequencies of energy that exist in our calendar year. And according to what my soul needs to experience in this world, my soul will choose to be born under that frequency of energy. So for example, if a person has always a fear of trusting people, if their fear is to trust people, they may be born under the frequency we call Scorpio. So they come through the energy of Scorpio, and imagine that they're being enveloped by this energy of Scorpio. What does this energy of Scorpio do? It constantly awakens their lack of trust for people, because that's a Scorpio tikkun. Scorpio tikkun, lack of trust, being too intense, always feeling like people don't love me enough, that people don't care about me enough. So if that's my tikkun, that's the energy I will be born into. So all my life I will have this Scorpio energy following me wherever I go. Of course, until I transform it, until I rise above my sign. And each one of us, we come to the world with certain, not just one sign, but there's many different influences that are penetrating our soul, that are awakening certain things, and we can't understand them half the time. We don't know why all of a sudden I'm happy, then I'm sad. I have clarity, then I have doubts. I'm certain, and then I'm worried. Because there's so many different energies that we came to the world with that are awakening different aspects of ourselves. But once I understand what is that trait, what is my unique tikkun according to my astrological sign, then I'll be able to understand who I am and what are the influences coming towards me and transforming them. For example, a Pisces has a fear of confrontation, has always an internal emptiness inside Pisces. Why? Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So it's like the farthest away from the energy, and Pisces always feel like they're lacking something. And they always need energy. Pisces tikkun is addiction. They can be addicted to things very easily. Gambling, drugs, sex, approval. And Pisces are people-pleasing people. So when a Pisces understands that's the energy around him, it's not that it's him. It's that he was born under this sign that's always awakening him to be a people-pleaser. Always awakening him to show that I have lack, I need to fill it, what am I going to fill it with? And then I'm going to react and take this energy and that energy. It can be the smallest energy, it can be food. But again, it's the addiction that Pisces have within them. So if I understand that, I can know better how to transform my tikkun. If we talk about Cancer, Cancer, on one hand, is one of the most dependable signs, but also one of the most needy signs as well. Cancers can latch onto you. Cancers also avoid confrontation. Hence the crab that moves side to side, never wants to deal with things. Cancers also feel like their world will fall apart if they don't have control. So we can understand a little bit more about Cancer. All water-based signs, in fact, all signs that are water-based, like Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer, are all ruled by fear. What motivates them is fears all day long. Fears all day long. If you talk about a sign like Leo, a Leo needs to feel like he's in charge, like he is special. And if he doesn't feel that, his tikkun will be awakened of trying to put himself in that position, put himself in that illusion that he is important. And he may be doing things in order to feel important as opposed to the real reason why we need to do things, which is to get ourselves closer to the light of the Creator. If a Leo shares, it's often because he wants people to like him, as opposed to sharing because I want to reveal the light within my soul. I don't care if you like me. I know this is good for you. I'm going to give you, and what I want back in return is not your approval, but I want wisdom. I want energy. I want protection from my life. I share because I want the light, not because I want you to like me. That could be a major tikkun of a Leo. If you talk about Taurus, Taurus love to be comfortable. Taurus love luxury. They need things to always feel good, to feel smooth, the touch is nice. And what's the tikkun that a Taurus might have? They're stubborn. They can have a hard time moving from one place to another, but once they move, then they're stubborn in that place. If you ever tell a Taurus something big and grand that they're not used to, they're going to reject it. They're going to reject it, and they're going to put you down. Why? Because they internally have a fear of having to change too quickly. You show them a vision of what they could be. You show them a vision of what they should be. They will reject it. If it's too far ahead of who they really are today, they will reject it because they don't want to change. They don't want to change so fast. And then they get angry because they hold it in. So there's many different aspects of a Taurus that if he understands that about himself, a Taurus needs to understand, you know what, every day I need to wake up and do something outside of my comfort zone. If you talk about Libra, Libra also can be one of the most vain signs in the inability to choose, always living inside their head, always afraid of what the future will be like. So I just like to live in nowhere land. So a Libra would have that tikkun of being afraid to choose. And sometimes they need to choose, and even if it's wrong, but it's with the right intention, it's okay. The light will take care of them, and they'll learn their lesson, and they'll go through the pain. That's how a Libra moves forward, making right and wrong decisions. They don't need to always make the right decision. But just to make a decision reveals the light for a Libra. It reveals the light for a Libra. If you talk about Virgo, what is a Virgo all about? A Virgo has, many people say, oh, Virgos judge. It's not that Virgos judge. Is that Virgos have a special energy that comes down into their soul that shows them perfection. It says that there's 13 lights that enter the soul of a Virgo, and those 13 lights show them perfection. And because they see perfection, when something is imperfect, it bothers them. When they see the details of things that don't work right. So a Virgo can have more unconditional love. And that's why Virgos, the biggest thing is that they start to hate themselves. They start to judge themselves. They beat themselves up, and they can be prone to depression. All earth signs, like Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, can be very prone to depression as well, and sadness and beating themselves up. Another sign is a sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius can be always looking for the goal, looking for how to create something, and forgetting about the people around them. Forgetting about, it's more about human interaction, it's more about being sensitive, as opposed to just trying to be the best or to achieve. If you talk about Aquarius, Aquarius have a very difficult time having individual relationships with people, being present, making eye contact, feeling. Aquarius always want to do big things and save a lot of people, but if it involves something very small, they don't want to deal with it. They think it's below them. Aquarius can also have the biggest ego. Gemini also, many times, feel like they know everything. They like to plan everything ahead of time. Gemini can get to a place to say, you know what, maybe I don't know everything. Let me listen to what you have to say. And that could be the tikkun of a Gemini. So, as we understand, the more we know about astrology, the more we can understand who we are and transform ourselves. Astrology isn't about when will I meet my soulmate. That's not what astrology tells us. Astrology shows us who am I and what can I change. And for each one of us, the more we know and the more we understand, the more we will have the ability to come to this world, change who we are, see miracles and wonders. Thank you all so much.